Hi guys. I know I told you in class that I was going to give you an assignment sheet for this essay, but then I got to thinking I'll just do an audio explanation and it'll be a lot easier for you, and um, I think I'll get a lot more information out to you this way. The first thing I want to do is come down to the um, the source page and start here. The requirement for this essay is you have to have one source for your non-fictional person. In my essay example, it was Julius Caesar, so I have one source for him, for that figure. Make sure you use the citation tool to correctly document whatever source you're using. After that, you have to have one source per fictional character. Hopfrog, Montresor, Matilda, whatever the case may be. Now, this source here was one of the sources that I could not get to work in class for whatever reason. This link is the link to this article, which is a really good article. But I suggest what you do is just copy and paste this into a browser window and you'll find it that way. For some reason, the link just won't link. I've tried it several times with no success, but if you want to use this source, copy this much and paste it into a browser window, and then it'll find it. Okay, it's a good article. But remember, it is a print source, though, so you're going to have to do certain citation, parenthetical citation for a print source. Okay, let's go back up to the top. You have to use my thesis. The title is up to you. If you want to borrow my title, and just change it to your needs, Hitler or Bonaparte or whoever, just do that. I got my example here for my 12 o'clock class. Obviously, if you're in my 10:30 class, you would put 10:30 here. Please make sure your name appears here. Lately, I've been having a lot of essays coming in with no names, and it just makes extra work for me. And also, don't forget to change the page header here. You are using, of course, this file for your template. Just take my file, save as, and navigate to where you want to save stuff, and name it with your last name. Boyd critical analysis, Johnson critical analysis, Wirtz critical analysis, Hahn critical analysis, whatever the case may be. Okay, now your subtopics are going to be the three characters you choose from the stories, and make sure you stay in the color coding. We're going to keep these red. Your A detail is going to be the unifying character trait that connects your character to your historical figure. In this case, it's tyrannical behavior that the king and Julius Caesar both share. In this example, the character trait is vanity, lack of foresight and vanity, that Fortunato and Julius Caesar both share. In this, it's selfish behavior that Matilda and Julius Caesar both share. If you want to, you could do this and put three different historical figures here, or you can just use the same one for each subtopic paragraph. Neither one is better, neither one is easier. Okay? All right, coming down here, this is the introduction of the sample essay. You can use this as inspiration for your introduction if you want to mimic this. In any case, your thesis has got to appear somewhere in the introduction. I've got it here as the second sentence, which works just fine. Maybe a sentence like this might inspire you to write something similar for your essay. and it's okay if you do. Here we go. And you should know this by now. This is the third essay you've done that's like this. Subtopic sentence. Mention your character. Mention the story that character is from. Bold the subtopic. The next sentence is the introduction to A, right here, tyranny. If you want to, and you really should have more than one blue sentence, expand that thought about tyranny. As an example, it's tyranny. Expand your A detail 2, 3, maybe even 4 sentences more before you move on to B. I've got a transition here going on to B. Subtopic bolded, A detail bolded, B detail bolded, connected with a transition. Here is the citation for the quote that I got from ushistory.org. If you want to play around with footnotes again, you can. Not required. Okay, now the purpose of this paragraph is to introduce the subtopic, introduce their shared trait, and then in the B paragraph, this area here in the green is where you talk about both, in this example, both the king and Julius Caesar and their tyrannical behavior. This is where you're drawing the comparison between the two. Okay? In this paragraph, you would be doing vanity between Fortunato and Julius Caesar in paragraph 2. So if we scoot down here, you'll see that I've got a transition. The character I'm going to be talking about, and his vanity is like a foresight. Now, in this example, it's just one sentence, and that's okay. I prefer more than one sentence on A, but it's okay. I've got a transition here going on to my B detail, which is Caesar. Once again, you're talking about both your subtopic, in this case Fortunato, and Caesar, and their foolish behavior, which is lack of foresight. Coming down here, the pattern repeats. Transition to the subtopic 3, the trait, which is the A detail. Transition to Caesar, which is the B detail. Discussion in the green area of the selfish behavior of both men, both characters. Now, once again, this is not your first essay. You should know how to do this on your own, but if you want to borrow, I strongly suggest you borrow my wording if you're not sure how to do this for your subtopic sentences. I've given you good transitions that you can use, whatever transitions you do use for the B or for the transition to 2. Underline, italicize, and bold. And with that being said, once again, you're bolding your subtopic, you're bolding A, you're bolding B. You are bolding, italicizing, and underlining your transitions. Why do I do this? Because if you are required to bold something, you make a conscious effort to figure out what am I bolding? That's right, I'm bolding the subtopic, I'm bolding A, I'm bolding B, and I am also giving the transitions triple love, the italics, bold, and underlining. Okay. And when you come down to the conclusion, your final thoughts. Read my example to get some ideas, but remember what I said in class. This is a critical analysis. You are analyzing. You are entitled to your own opinion. Obviously, you're not a literary scholar, so you have to depend on outside sources to help you support your points of view, and that's what this page is for. Right? Or any of the sources that I've given you. You have access to all of them, and I will open them up in Canvas in one space so you have everything that you need. But yes, you are entitled to your own opinion, but you are critically thinking. You are giving me your opinion which is valid, and you're using it with shared opinion from your sources. Okay. Now the deal is the sooner you get this thing done, the sooner I could proof it for you, should you want me to, and the sooner you'll be exempt from attending classes if you get done early.